Warm welcome. You're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where we curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. All right, our top story. Top military commanders have been engaged as we speak in discussions at the LAC, all in a bid to diffuse tensions. The meeting is on since 11 a.m. today and was requested by the Chinese side. India today has accessed exclusive satellite images of the meeting point of India-China border talks. The meeting called by the Chinese army is being held at Moldo on the Chinese side of Chushul in eastern Ladakh. This is the second round of talks, Lieutenant General level talks, and the first after the bloody brawl on June 15th where 20 Jawans lost their lives. India has asked China for a timeline for withdrawal of troops from LAC area and has maintained positions and deployment as before May 2nd, including Finger 4. China has not been inclined to agree on this point. China may also be asked to honor its commitment in the Galwan Valley and disengage completely. India will also communicate to China the change in rules of engagement after the June 15th clash. I'd like to connect immediately to Ladakh, Leh, where my colleague and our senior executive editor, Gaurav Sawant, has been tracking the developments very closely. Gaurav, you know, it's been a very long time. The top general level talks still on. What more can you add?
Preeti, the talk started at 11:30 this morning at an altitude of 14,300 feet. That is where Chushul is. Remember, that very famous Battle of Rizangla was fought barely a couple of hundred meters from where the Indian and the Chinese commanders are meeting. So there was a one-on-one between the two generals, General Harinder Singh on our side and Major General Lin Liu on the Chinese side. The two have exchanged their perceptions, and then there are delegation level talks or talks at the level of their division commanders, brigade commanders, the commanding officers are all there so that every situation can be ironed out. And this is where India very firmly is telling China that it needs to withdraw its forces and restore the pre-May 6th situation, which means no fortifications, no troops between Finger 4 and Finger 8 at Pangong. So the Chinese move back even the other side of the LAC at Galwan. Also, Preeti, what is not in public domain to a very large extent is the Chinese build-up, of course, across the line of actual control from Depsang near Daulat Beg Oldie all the way down to Chumar and Demchok in southern Ladakh. So there is a massive Chinese build-up all across, and this potentially could lead to trouble. Of course, Indian forces are also deployed. There is mirror deployment in almost every place, but a timeline for withdrawal of Chinese troops. Also, Preeti, India is telling China that there are new rules of engagement in place after Chinese treachery at Galwan. So both sides need to make sure that the situation does not spiral out of control, Preeti.
All right, Gaurav, we're going to continue to come to you and appreciate you joining us. Meanwhile, as Gaurav said, the talks are still on. We're going to get you the latest. Trust India Today to be the first to get you what has exactly transpired in those talks. Meanwhile, India and China, as they hold talks at the LAC, a video has gone viral, escalating between the two countries. A little more tension. India today has accessed an undated video which seemed to be recent because everyone seems to be wearing masks. Now this is the skirmish between India and Chinese troops believed to be near the Sikkim border, not the Galwan region. The video shows Indian soldiers pushing the Chinese back aggressively. Also appears to be a recent one. As I pointed out, both sides are wearing masks. All right, let's now focus back to Leh Ladakh and the Galwan Valley region and just shift focus a little to Pangong Tso area. While the focus, like we said, has been on the Galwan Valley and the 15th June face-off, the Chinese threat in Pangong Tso is escalating. Satellite imagery captured over the weekend has put by Australian analyst Nathan Russer shows the Chinese are advancing in the Pangong area. Take a look at this report.
Look closely at this image. Chinese outposts, but these aren't just camps with tents. Some of those objects you see are pillboxes. What's a pillbox, you're wondering? Pillboxes are concrete structures with a window from which to fire weapons, like this one. In normal course, this June satellite image put out by Australian analyst Nathan Russer wouldn't cause much alarm. except when you find out where these Chinese positions are. What you're looking at is here, the Finger 4 ridgeline on the banks of Ladakh's Pangong Lake. Last week we showed you how the Chinese had built up aggressively on this ridgeline, with these new Chinese positions staring down at a new Indian Army position barely half a kilometer downhill. And now we show you how the threat has visibly increased in the last few days. Satellite imagery captured over the weekend and put out by RUSA shows the Chinese are advancing down the hill by over 300 meters. The move is being seen as highly aggressive and provocative by the Chinese. Nathan Ruza, who has published these images, calls this the clearest transgression of the previously agreed upon status quo by Chinese forces in all of Ladakh. Now let's zoom out and show you how much China controls with its aggressive build-up here. The area between Finger 4 and Finger 8 is claimed by India, but is now overrun by Chinese positions, with the Indian Army now confined to a new position just west of the Finger 4 ridgeline. And this infamous beach is seeing plenty of activity too. After this violent brawl in 2017 and this one just last month, this is what the Finger 4 beach looks like now, with Chinese earth-moving equipment and 2 patrol boats clearly visible. With the Chinese build-up relentless and its intentions to change the status quo most glaring here in Pangong, the question is, how will India respond? Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, politics over the India-China June 15 clash continues after Surinder Modi jibe of Rahul Gandhi. Well, the Congress MP from Wayanad quoted a news article which said Chinese media lords Prime Minister's speech, tweeting, and I quote, "China killed our soldiers, China took our land. Then why is China praising Mr. Modi during this conflict?" Earlier, former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in a statement today said that Prime Minister Modi must always be mindful of implications of his words and cannot allow China to use his words as vindication of their position. BJP President JP Nadda, meanwhile, has hit back at Manmohan Singh, calling his statement just wordplay. Went on to accuse Congress of always demoralizing our forces.
तो भगवान भी अब साथ नहीं दे रहा है। नरेंद्र मोदी इज सुरेंद्र मोदी। वो नरों के ही नेता नहीं, अब सुरों के भी नेता है। यह बात आपकी जुबान से निकलती है, इस बात को समझना चाहिए, आपके ट्विटर से निकलती है। इसलिए भगवान भी शुभ सोच रहा है, इस बात को समझना चाहिए। यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड द लैंग्वेज ऑफ गॉड। मोदी जी नरों के ही नेता नहीं, नरों के ही राजा नहीं, सुरों के, देवताओं के भी राजा। इस तरीके की भाषा बनती है, ये हमको समझना चाहिए।
चीन के साथ हमारा कोई विवाद नहीं है। जब वो हमारी ज़मीन में या हमारे सीमा के अंदर प्रवेश नहीं किया है, हमारी कोई जगह पर कब्ज़ा भी नहीं किया है, तो फिर हमारे जो 20 जवान शहीद हुए उसकी क्या आवश्यकता थी? या तो किसी गलतफहमी में उनकी शहादत हो गई, और उनकी शहादत के बाद इस तरह का बयान देना कि कहाँ तक उचित है। तो राहुल गांधी ने जो बात कही है बिल्कुल सही कही है।
All right, let's shift focus to the capital. The coronavirus waste has become a new form of pollution and a health hazard. As single-use personal protective equipment pile up around our hospitals, our crematoriums, our graveyards. Delhi is already battling pollution challenge, and with no proper disposal of thousands of PPE kits, this is a huge, huge health hazard in the national capital. My colleague Ankit Tyagi reports.
The national capital has been sitting on hazardous landfills. Now, with coronavirus cases rising every day, the city is facing a big plastic challenge. The COVID-19 virus has not only changed our ways of living, but has also introduced us to personal protective equipment kits, which includes goggles, face shields, masks, gloves, coveralls or gowns, and head and shoe covers, all made of plastic. While PPEs are highly beneficial in reducing the risk of contracting infection, they are adding to the plastic waste piles in the city. India Today visited Lodhi crematorium, where we found a huge heap of PPE kits.
Discarded PPE kits, gloves, masks, which patients of coronavirus use. Also, the family members, those who bring the bodies of their deceased loved ones, and even the wrapping on which, in fact, the bodies are completely covered in, are all littered here at the Lodhi Garden crematorium, posing a new challenge, a threat as far as the coronavirus pandemic is concerned.
The crematorium officials said they too need PPE kits to clear the waste, as there is a scare of the virus spread. Despite instructions for proper disposal of PPE kits, crematorium officials say there are no separate bins provided.
जो लोग आते हैं वो अपनी किट डाल के आते हैं, और कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं कि वो जाके कूड़ादान की तरफ निकाल के डाल देते हैं। अब उनसे मना भी करते हैं मगर वो मानते नहीं हैं, तो इसलिए कूड़ादान की तरफ कुछ अगर जो किटें पड़ी हुई हैं वो उनकी वजह से पड़ी हुई हैं। और हमारे पास वो किटें डालने के लिए ऐसी कोई मशीन या ऐसा कोई डब्बा होना चाहिए जो कोई किट अगर वो यहाँ से उतारता है तो उस डब्बे के अंदर डालना चाहिए, जिससे सपोर्ट बनी रहे, किसी दूसरे को ऐसी कोई चीज़ ना होनी चाहिए।
We also went to a COVID dedicated crematorium in ITO and witnessed similar scenes.
This is the COVID designated burial ground at the ITO, and here as well you will see dangerous biomedical waste, PPE kits, gloves, masks just being thrown and strewn around. This one here, the PPE kits and others in a yellow bag, is very clearly showing you how, in fact, dangerous the situation is. While we walk in this very hazardous biomedical waste, the staff here has, in fact, chosen to dug this hole where they are burning the PPE kits in the evening. Gloves, PPE kits, masks, all of these are being burnt, and this poses a bigger challenge for the environment and for the people around as well.
को तो जो बोला गया है कि जो डेड बॉडी के जो 4 बंदे जो पहनेंगे उस किट को, वो उसी कवर के अंदर डलवाते हैं, लेकिन अपनी डेड बॉडी के ऊपर वो लोग उसको ना फेंकने की वजह से ना, कुछ लोग हम उस टाइम तो कह देते हैं हमसे कि जी हम फेंक देंगे, लेकिन वो फेंकते नहीं है कुछ लोग, तो फिर वो यहीं फेंक के चले जाते हैं। उसके लिए फिर हमें खुद ही सफाई करनी पड़ती है। फिर हमने ये अलग एक बना रखा है, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, हम उसी के अंदर फिर उनको शाम को इकट्ठा करके सबको जलाते हैं। फिर
किसकी जिम्मेदारी बनती है वैसे सफाई वगैरह करने की यहाँ पे?
सर वैसे तो ये बनती है MCD वालों की बनती है, लेकिन अब कोई आता नहीं है तो हम क्या करें, करना हमको खुद ही पड़ता है फिर।
Meanwhile, the MCD has assured action after we raised the issue of PPE kits being not incinerated.
सभी शमशान घाटों को एक लिखित आदेश पारित किया जा रहा है। पीपी किट को अब वही शमशान घाट में रख दिया जाएगा, और उसको हमारी 2 एजेंसी जो दिल्ली सरकार के द्वारा निर्धारित है, बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट को बर्न करके जलाकर उसको डिस्पोज ऑफ करती हैं, उनको हम हैंड ओवर कर देंगे।
Delhi, which banned the use of single-use plastic last year, is going to see an increase in plastic pollution post-COVID pandemic. But currently, the biggest challenge is to manage the waste piling up near our hospitals and crematoriums. Bureau Report, India Today.
And the biggest hazard of this, of course, is the plastic waste, but more so of being a health hazard. These are PPE kits which could be infected and just lying around to pass on that infection. Well, that's food for thought. With that, I want to shift focus. Shocking lapses on the part of authorities have come to the fore after 57 girls and a staff member have tested positive at a government-run shelter in Kanpur. 5 among the inmates tested positive are also pregnant. An India Today investigation found that it was on June 15th that the first case of novel coronavirus was detected in the home shelter. 2 days later, 33 more tested positive. The administration, however, did not isolate the entire staff in the shelter home immediately. It was only when the shelter home reported 16 more cases on June 19th that the building was finally sealed. But a day later, 8 more girls tested positive. In another shocking lapse, the shelter home was housing 171 inmates when it had a capacity of just 100. Another question that comes to light is that the Uttar Pradesh government, the Kanpur authorities have given out details of when these girls were admitted to this home shelter. They say these girls, all of them underage, who are pregnant right now, were pregnant before they got into the shelter, and they were admitted under the POCSO Act. But what the authorities haven't done till now is to release the months of pregnancy of these girls. Many are asking questions to release that particular information.
कानपुर नगर बालिका संरक्षण गृह संवासनी गृह में विगत सप्ताह कराए गए परीक्षणों में कोविड-19 के 57 मामले पाए गए हैं। इनमें से सभी को कोविड अस्पतालों में भर्ती करा दिया गया है। इन सभी मामलों में 5 ऐसी बालिकाएं पाई गई हैं जो गर्भवती हैं। ये बालिकाएं पॉक्सो एक्ट के तहत विभिन्न जनपदों से CWC के द्वारा उनके आदेश पर इस संवासनी गृह में संदर्भित की गई थी। इसके अतिरिक्त यहाँ रहने वाली 2 अन्य गर्भवती बालिकाएं हैं जो कोरोना नकारात्मक पाई गई हैं, जो CWC एटा तथा CWC कानपुर नगर द्वारा संदर्भित हैं।
सर, कैपेसिटी पहले हमारी 100 की थी, लेकिन हम लोगों ने पिछले साल उसमें एक हाल और बनवा करके उनको जो है व्यवस्थित करने की कोशिश किया। कितना लग रहा था? 171 थी वर्तमान।
आप मानते हो ओवर स्टाफ था कोविड में?
आप ये बात एडमिट करते हैं कि ओवर स्टाफ था वहाँ पर, और ओवर जो कैपेसिटी थी उससे ज़्यादा लोग थे, ये एडमिट करते हैं आप?
नहीं सर, मतलब क्षमता से थोड़ा ज़्यादा तो है ही।
India Today investigation reveals shocking details of the lapses done by the district administration which led to the spread of coronavirus in state government run shelter home. The first case in the government run shelter home was reported on 15 June, and by 20th, when the cases increased to 58, the administration finally woke up and sealed the building. So the big question remains, why did the administration took so much time in declaring the building as COVID-19 hotspot? And also the administration has confirmed that the building has the capacity to house only 100 girls, but there were 171 girls living in the shelter home. So clearly it was overpopulated at a time when social distancing is mandatory in the wake of rising coronavirus cases. So these are the questions which the administration needs to answer, and certainly the government needs to take action and fix responsibility. In Kanpur with camera person Neeraj Kumar, Nilanshu Shukla for India Today.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has allowed the Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra to take place during the pandemic. The top court, while hearing the centre's petition, permitted the annual Rath Yatra with riders. The Supreme Court asked the centre and the Odisha government to coordinate on holding the yatra. However, the top court has prohibited devotees during the event. Home Minister Amit Shah tweeted on the Supreme Court decision, calling the decision delightful.
महाप्रभु जगन्नाथ की ये सब लीला है, वो जो चाहते हैं वही होता है। संपूर्ण हिंदू समाज और जगन्नाथ की श्रद्धा रखने वाले 4.5 करोड़िया लोगों के मन में खुशी की लहर है जगन्नाथ जी की रथ यात्रा की अनुमति के कारण। शर्तों को हमें पूरा भरोसा है, राज्य सरकार और केंद्र सरकार दोनों मिलकर पूरा शर्त को पालन करते हुए जिस जो कोरोना की गाइडलाइन है, भारत सरकार की गृह विभाग की और राज्य सरकार की जो गाइडलाइन है उसको पालन किया जाएगा।
With that, it's a wrap in 7 at 7. We, of course, will see you tomorrow. For further news and updates, to log on to indiatoday.in and can also download our app. Up next is our consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.